This is the main event, the trophy plate of our meal. I'm just gonna take a bite of the pure meat before I do anything. Good morning, everyone. It's Mark Wiens with migrationology.com. Today we're going on a day trip to an ancient city called Salt. But before we do anything, we're gonna go have breakfast. We're on our way to breakfast now and walking through a square, or it's a traffic circle called the Paris Square. This is the type of little hole-in-the-wall restaurant that if you didn't know it existed here and if you didn't see some people standing outside, you could probably just walk right past and you wouldn't even know it was a restaurant. This is my kind of place.
Upstairs they're also preparing for
Oh, this is awesome. That is the za'atar?
Yeah,
putting on? Okay.
It's already like soaked with oil.
He made the bread into a circular shape, like a pizza dough, and then he added on some different toppings, including one that has a za'atar, which is a mix of different herbs on top. Now he is firing them in a big oven, and the oven it's on a base that is actually rotating slowly so that it gets heat all around while it rotates. I gotta just stick my face in this bag and take a whiff. That smells like the combination of fresh baked bread and like herbs and thyme and cheese. He stacked them on top of each other and we got 3 different ones. I think the top one might be egg, and then there's one, I think this is cheese, and then on the bottom is one topped with za'atar, which is a spice and herb combination. So let me try that one first actually. This is kind of is this kind of the original one style?
This and the cheese.
You can see that olive oil on there as well. The olive oil, and then it's just caked on there with the spice mixture. That is so good because it's so fresh. And that is a really generous layer of, I think it's thyme, and there are sesame seeds in here, and the olive oil, which wraps it all together. That's incredibly good. Next up, this one is cheese and egg. Cheese and egg. Let me just grab off a small piece of this. That is delicious. The cheese is salty and has that little like rubbery texture to it. Complements so well with that herb mixture and that fresh bread. Okay, and then the final one is just cheese. So no egg, but just cheese. They're all so good, but definitely got to give it up for the egg cheese one. That little Manakish spot is right down the street from the Paris Circle. And so we walked up here and now we're gonna eat the rest of this Manakish. And I didn't know this when I took my first bite, but the cheese that is used on this Manakish is halloumi cheese, which is often just called white cheese. And so it's a salty, delicious, and it's just a wonderful cheese. And this is my favorite one with the za'atar underneath it, the egg, and then the layer of halloumi. We are on a bakery roll today. Because this place is right on the way to Salt, we had to stop by and we're gonna try some of their bread here. We got one of their breads, and this is right out of the oven. It is hot and fresh. It feels crispy in my hands, but also you can feel the softness underneath that layer of crispiness. Break off a piece. And is this seasoned with anything?
Just,
Or just za'atar or anything?
salt.
Just, okay.
Maybe. Yeah. Cheers.
Oh yeah. That is about as good as fresh baked bread can possibly get. We made it to Salt, and we are going to start at a museum which is called the Abu Jaber House. At first I was thinking the name As-Salt might have to do with salt, but actually it comes from the word saltas, which is in Latin and means forest. During the 19th and 20th centuries, As-Salt was one of the most important trade merchant centers of Jordan. We are going up to the 3rd story and gotta squeeze through a tight door and some steep steps. Behind me, that gigantic, almost parachute-size dress is a single woman's dress. You can compare it next to Ying over there. But it was folded into 6 layers and it came out like that. We're now walking through Hamam Street, which is one of the oldest market streets in As-Salt. This is a snack called gatayaf, and most of the time throughout Jordan it's only available during the Ramadan period. But at this little shop right here in the market, they sell it year-round, so this is a lucky chance to try it. Now, these are often eaten along with some sweet cheese or walnuts, and then kind of prepared that way, but you can also just eat them plain like this. Oh, it's actually not sweet plain like this. It's just like a pancake, and fluffy and kind of gooey. For lunch, we're at a restaurant called Abu Hamis, and they specialize in all sorts of different grilled meats, roasted meats. I was just taking some videos from the window of the kitchen and the grill, and then they invited me into the kitchen to get some close-ups. The aroma in here of the grilling meat is incredibly delicious. It's making my mouth water.
Shish kebab.
Shish kebab.
Yes.
Okay.
Whoa, it is beef?
Beef.
Meat.
Or meat.
Kharoof. Lamb.
Okay.
Okay.
Wow.
كبدة. هاي الملاك. 10 دقايق بيكونوا جاهزين. وين الدكتور؟
As we wait for the meat, we are snacking on some pickles, pickled carrots, and pickled cucumber. Yeah, that's very salty, but very crisp and good. A couple of the dishes have just arrived. I'm gonna break off a piece of bread, and I cannot wait to dig into the hummus, which is topped with minced beef. I'm gonna make a little cone. Oh, I can't wait. And I'm gonna use the scoop method where I grab some of that meat and that hummus and push it into that little cone. I got some parsley in there as well. I've never eaten so much hummus in my life as in Jordan, and I am enjoying every single bite of it. It's so smooth and creamy, and having that kind of oily minced meat on top of it, oh, that bumps it up another couple extra notches. This one is tomatoes with onions and chilies and minced meat. What I like about that is that it's very tart. It has a nice tomato sourness to it.
Nice dishes we have, which actually is a twist on shish kebab. The same kind of meat cooked inside bread. Actually, the bread absorbs the fat that's in the meat, makes it really fatty tasting. And I like the taste of fat or lamb. And what I like to do is, one bite of this.
By you. So that's minced lamb in there? Okay.
This combination.
We also got Arayes, and these are 2 pieces of bread which are filled with minced lamb and some spices. Oh, and as soon as I opened that up, you can actually smell the herbs coming out of there. And then they grilled it over the charcoal as well, and so you can see it looks oily and it looks crispy. There's some parsley on top. Wow. That is unbelievable. It's like gooey and sticky, and then you can taste the onions in there. It's a little bit salty. It's a little bit greasy. That's insanely good. If I didn't go to the kitchen and see them cooking this, I would actually think that it's like a deep fried pastry almost. But that crispiness is just the result of all of that lamb fat being grilled over charcoal and just making it almost like a deep fried item, but it's just grilled with all that lamb flavor. This is the main event, the trophy plate of our meal, and this place is known for all sorts of grilled meat and especially their kebabs. And here they're making their kebabs with 100% minced lamb, then mixed with all the spices and herbs. I'm just gonna take a bite of the pure meat before I do anything. Yes, that's salty, that's flavorful, it's juicy, you can taste the parsley in there. That is unbelievably good. It's so soft and tender that just melts in your mouth, but at the same time you can taste that, you can really taste that roasted charcoal flavor in it. I think this piece right here is just pure grilled fat.
Let me see you.
I'm gonna. Yeah, you can immediately taste the lamb in that. That's just like liquefying in my mouth right now as I'm speaking. I'll taste a piece of the meat next. This is just grilled meat. That is so tender. And yeah, as opposed to the previous bite that I just had, which was all fat, that is all meat. And the way they salt the meat here as well, it is quite salty, but that really brings out the flavor of both the lamb and the charcoal roasted flavor. That is really tender as well. Oh wow. I'm gonna do a kebab combination next. I'm gonna grab the rest of my kebab and put that, break a piece of that, put that into bread. I'm gonna dip this into the hummus with a little extra meat on there. And then after I take this bite, I'm gonna chase it with a bite of the roasted chili. Oh. The meat complements the hummus, all wrapped together in the bread. The chili is a little bit spicy and a little bit sweet, and again, you can just taste that incredible char roasted smoky flavor. I'm still nursing my meat belly, but we have stopped to have dessert and coffee now. And there's a really well-known desserts shop called Anabtawi. And then we ordered a couple of different traditional desserts, and then right across the street there's a traditional coffee shop. I'm gonna begin with a hareeseh, and it's in a bar shape, and it's made mostly of semolina, and then there are some almonds on top. You can see that golden crust on the top as well. Let me take a bite of this first, and you can actually see all of that texture in there. That is like sweet and kind of floral tasting. You really get that texture of the semolina, which It's a little bit sticky and gooey and kind of like couscous. As I was sitting here tasting that dessert, I can just smell the aroma of this coffee. You can smell the cardamom in there, and you can smell that just black coffee aroma coming off of it. Oh wow, that cardamom coming off of that coffee is incredible. Oh, I love that. Oh, this is just black coffee. It's unsweetened. The cardamom comes in so nicely. It's so thick and black that it's almost chocolatey. The Arabic translation of this dessert is cream fingers. And you can see it's a very thin pastry surrounding cream cheese in the middle. And then I think it's topped with pistachios. All right, cheers. Cheers. Oh yeah, that one is good. Coffee. Wow. Yeah.
Wow, indeed.
You can definitely taste the cream cheese. It tastes like cheesecake on the center, but then the dough and that very thin phyllo wrapping is completely different. It's reminiscent, the dough is reminiscent of like a baklava. And then the final dessert we have here, this is almost the same dessert as what I just tried, but this one is in a different shape, and this one is typically warm, while the other one is served cool. So
it's called warbat.
Warbat. And this one is called warbat. And also this one it seems to have more layers of the pastry. Cheers. In this one, it tastes to me like the cheese is a little milder, and it has more of a custardy taste to it to me. Oh, that cardamom. Oh, chocolatey cardamom coffee. After having dessert in Asalt, we took a little drive and we're in another village a couple hills over, and we stopped off at a place called Thyme More, and we're gonna stop in and try some traditional and also some unique types of za'atar, which are herb thyme blends.
Now, this is our original za'atar.
Okay.
Okay?
So this one is the traditional za'atar.
Yes.
Okay, and it's
This is what we call it polylat za'atar.
okay, a mix of different herbs and sesame
Yes.
seeds and
Yes.
oregano also?
No, there
Or
is
thyme?
no oregano.
No
It's
oregano.
only thyme.
Only thyme. Oh, wow. That's awesome. It's so flavorful with that thyme and the sesame seeds and that oil and then the bread kind of holding it all together. That has a little bit of a different twist to it because of the addition of the cashews and yeah, more of a creamy nuttiness to it.
The only difference.
Called doka.
Yes.
So this one is not a
Yes.
za'atar.
No.
Okay.
Okay. We do have just a little tiny za'atar inside.
Yeah, this one is a combination of nuts and herbs and fibers and Is there some nutmeg? I think I can smell a little bit of nutmeg in there. Oh wow, that tastes like powdered nuts with a blend of spice. We just finished sampling all the different types of za'atar, and we weren't planning to eat dinner, but the owner here has invited us to have dinner. We're having a couple of different baked bread. There's a pizza, a chicken Alfredo pizza, and then a calzone, which is stuffed with turkey, and there's lots of cheese and sprinkled with oregano. I'm gonna begin with the chicken Alfredo pizza. Yeah, the aroma of that sizzling cheese. Oh wow. That is just, tastes like sizzling cheese plus creamy sauce. Wow, that is a cheese lover's dream come true. Okay, and now I'm gonna try the calzone, and oh, I didn't even see that roll of meat in there at first. Oh, is that all turkey, or is there also like some smoked turkey, smoked turkey in that crust there? I think I gotta take a bite of the crust first. That is insane. The smoked turkey has a salami-like taste to it because it's so smoky. Okay, and finally the last one is it's similar to a Manakish.
It's vegetable Manakish.
It is Manakish with the za'atar, and then there are tomatoes and olives, and is it rocket on top? Okay. Oh yeah, that za'atar, that herb flavor. The rocket comes in really nicely with that slight horseradish flavor, the olives, the tomato, very refreshing tasting. That was a completely unplanned stop to come here to Thyme More, but it turned out to be an amazing experience getting to sample those different types of za'atar. And then Mr. Osama, the owner, he invited us to come for dinner, and then at the end he gave me one of the sample packs of the different za'atars that we sampled when we were sampling them. Not only educational, but a delicious experience. We're gonna head back to Amman, back to our hotel now. Just made it back to the hotel. That was another fantastic day of feasting and hospitality and culture in Jordan. Thank you all very much for watching this video. Please remember to give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. And I'll see you tomorrow for another day in Jordan. And also, you really, really get that texture of that semolina. You really, you can taste the cream cheese. That's like it's like a cream cheese. What is it called? Cream cheese cake? No,
Cheesecake?
a cheesecake. Yeah. Okay.